It only takes one decision to drastically change your financial position. I took one decision to purchase a house that generates income. And because of that, I was able to quit my job in 9 years. Your life stays the same or it changes because of the decisions that you make. If you're 40 and feeling like you are behind with your money, you're not where you want to be financially, this conversation may not be something that you want to hear, but if you sit through and hear what I'm saying and reflect and take action, you could be in a place in the next 10 years that you do not even recognize. If this is the first time that we are meeting, my name is Nobu Musikiwa. I help working professionals 40 and over save smarter and pay less taxes by using cash value life insurance strategically. If you're in a place where you genuinely are ready to make some big changes in your life with your money, with your finances, with your options, there are three big shifts that have helped me. It's what I talk my clients through, whether they're coming to me with real estate questions or cash value life insurance, IUL questions, or just life questions in general as my friends. The first major decision that is super important, especially if you're 40 or older, is taking ownership of yourself and where you're at. What do I mean by that? As you're growing up, you have a clean slate. You don't know anything. From 0 to 20, you pretty much don't have your own thoughts. You are being molded by your parents, by your teachers, by your friends, by what you see around you about like what is normal, what are the norms, and you don't have a lot of control over that. So from 0 to 20, you are being molded by forces that are outside of you. And from your 20s to your 30s, you are navigating life based on what you have already been exposed to in those 20 years. And sometimes what we've been exposed to is amazing and we accelerate, but a lot of times what we've been exposed to isn't sufficient. Not because we have bad parents or bad neighbors or bad friends, it's just that most of the people around us have the same level of knowledge and same level of ideas of what's possible as where we are. And where you are in your 30s depends on what you do in that 10-year range to get ideas outside of your norm. So in your 20s to 30s, if all you do is hang out with the same friends, hang out in the same neighborhoods what you grew up in, the same family friends, you don't expose yourself to new ideas, then you're probably in your 30s going to be in the same place as all the adults that gave you your ideas in your 0 to 20 years. In my experience, the people that get to 30 and they have made big shifts financially, it's because they were open-minded enough to have conversations with people outside of their circle, outside of what was normal, and actually implemented those ideas. We have this tendency where when we get new information, when we get new ideas, if we don't know about it, if we don't know someone that has done it, we immediately think, oh, that's a scam. That's not real. I'm from Southern Africa, so around me, everybody has the same type of like very coarse, like very thick black hair, right? And I remember in my 20s, there was like another like black girl who had like very soft curly hair, and I said, well, she's saying that's real, well, that's not real. Like she's lying. Because I had never seen something like that. And so in my head, oh, because it's not something that I've been exposed to, it's not real. And as we continue to get older, if we continue to have that same mentality that, oh, because I don't know about this thing, it must be fake, then you are going to continue to be in your 40s, 50s, and 60s doing the things that you thought were normal in your 0 to 20 years that are actually keeping you back. Now, what happens between your 30s and 40s is going to depend on the nuggets that you picked up in your 20s. You're either going to continue doing the same thing that you're doing, or you're going to start to implement these ideas that you gathered in your 20s. And so now at this 40-year mark, some of us, I am 40 myself, so some of us are feeling, pretty good about where we are, but we know that we need to go further. And some of us are feeling like, man, like I can't believe I'm 40. I might be halfway through my life and I don't have anything to show for it. Or, I have 20 years left to retire and I don't have any money at all that's saved up for that retirement. I have a lot of conversations with 60-year-olds and 70-year-olds who made a huge mistake that I'm going to share with you right now. And if you're in your 40s, take this piece of information and use it to change your life. In your 20s, you didn't know any different. Like you were just doing what you were taught, right? At 30-year mark, right, you had an opportunity to gather information. Maybe you didn't, but that was your chance to put something in place for the time that you're 40. Like you have something that you're seeing some progress. And now that you're 40, if you did not pick up any new ideas and implement them in your 20s and your 30s, now is your final chance, really, to actually change your financial direction and be in a spot. So by the time that you're 60, you're not in a place where you have to work until you're 75 because you have not made the right financial moves. In your 20s, it wasn't your fault that you didn't know about finance stuff. You never taught about this. In your 30s, it still wasn't your fault because maybe you just did not have the mindset of, oh, I need to plan for the future. Now that you're in your 40s, especially if you're watching this video, you are aware that you need to do something differently. And so this is your opportunity to make a decision and say, okay, I am aware, I know that I don't have the right financial tools in place. So where can I go to find them? And now is your opportunity to not only say, okay, there's this thing that I want to do, but it's your opportunity to actually do it. If you missed the boat earlier on having conversations to expose yourself to new ideas, you still have time to have those conversations. As you're having those conversations, it is important to have an open mind and understand that most of us are running on a huge deficit in terms of financial information. So just because you don't know something, just because the people around you don't know something, doesn't mean it's a scam. It means that the people around you have not been exposed to this idea, and now you have a decision to make. Are you going to follow the footsteps of people who are in a position that you do not want to be in? Or are you going to take ownership and take accountability and do something different because you don't want the same life as everybody else, right? That third thing that people that I know that are well ahead of their peers financially, what they do is they don't care what other people are doing. They get the information, they understand what it is, and they implement based on what they want for themselves, based on what they want in their lives, not based on what other people are doing. Because most people don't know what they're doing. Most people are not in a good place financially. So if you're trying to follow what most people are doing, you're probably going to be working until you're 75 and struggling. And that's not what we want. So right now, in your 40s, is your final chance to make some definitive decisions on what is it that you're going to do now. So when you are 60, you are in a better position financially and you have options. So if you have this idea that getting an IUL might be the thing that pushes you forward, amazing. Drop in the comments what it is that's holding you back from moving forward. But if you've decided that you, in fact, do want to move forward, go ahead and tap the link in the description if you want to work with me, or grab my free course on how to use cash value life insurance like an IUL to boost your retirement savings. The biggest thing is to make a decision and own it. So if you want an IUL, amazing. Either do it or be specific about what it is that you need to figure out in order for you to move forward, or decide that another vehicle is what you want to do, which is absolutely amazing. Go ahead and pursue that vehicle vigorously. But the worst thing to do is to not do anything and then have the same conversations that I have daily with people in their 60s, 70s that are regretful that they did not take the actions necessary to take their money and make it work harder for them. In this video, I walk through the numbers with someone who made a definitive decision to move forward and get an IUL. If you're curious what those numbers look like for her, go ahead and watch that video. I will see you there.